I'm telling you, all these laminated covers from the library, they do my head in with all the glares, Let's find an angle. There we go. So, I read the Spanish Love Deception a while back. And this one, the American Roommate Experience, it's not technically a series as it were, but they are companion novels. So I can't for the life of me remember the characters from the Spanish Love Deception, but the female, So in this one we follow that female's best friend Rosie and her cousin, the female's cousin, not Rosie's cousin, Lucas. So it all starts with Rosie. She gets a flood. Her apartment floods and she needs to leave, basically, because, well, there's a hole to the neighbor who's not exactly wearing anything beneath his robes. Let's say that. Yeah, think ugly naked guy from Friends. That's at least what I got in my head. Anyway, so Rosie packs up her stuff and goes to her best friend's apartment. It's technically empty because she is away, and she won't be coming back for a bit. And also I think she's gonna move from there when she finally does come back, but that's besides the point. The apartment is empty, so Rosie goes there. She tries to call a friend, but no answer, and she has a key, so she goes there. I mean, they're best friends, should be fine. Well, on her first night there, there attempts to be, it appears to be a break-in. Someone tries to break in to Rosie's best friend's flat. It's gonna do my head in not remembering her name. Turns out, the best friend, she'd lent out her flat to her cousin. I love that I'm jumping between apartment and flat. It's the same thing. It's gonna do my head in as well. Sorry about that. So Lucas, the cousin, is now attempting to get inside the apartment, but it's locked from the inside with one of those bolt locks thingies, so he can't get in. Speed forward a little bit and they start getting to know each other. So let's mention Lucas first because he's probably the shortest to mention. So Lucas is just kind of traveling around and yeah, free apartment, flats, free room and board. Not board really, but free room. Yeah, basically he's gonna stay there for a bit. Rosie also needs to stay there for a bit because it takes some time for her flat to get fixed. So they have that forced proximity, yeah, thing going on. Rosie used to work with her best friend, but she quit because she wrote a book and now she is attempting to become an author, a romance author. Ooh. But she's lacking a bit of romance in her life, so she's lacking that inspiration to write. And to Lucas, they decide to start kind of fake dating. They are very much aware of the whole thing. I think he was even the one that suggested it. He's like, well, why don't we just, you know, go on dates, like, and you can have that inspiration that you're lacking. Well, this being a romance novel, you can, well, rom-com, contemporary thing, I don't even know what to call these genres anymore. Anyway, it being that kind of book, I think you can guess where this is gonna lead. Yeah. Chicken wow, they fell in love. What is this? Spanish Love Deception. That one I thought was a bit too silly. This one was a bit more tame. This one felt a bit more realistic, whereas the Spanish Love Deception felt like, well, you don't actually know that he hates you, you just think that he hates you. Then he volunteers to come with you to the wedding. I mean, it wasn't like it was a wedding next door in the same city or even the next state. It was a wedding they flew from New York to Spain. Nobody volunteers to go with you that far to a wedding with people you don't know if they hate you. That's No. So Spanish Love Deception felt unrealistic in that way, whereas this one felt a lot more realistic and a lot more cute and fun. So I had a better time reading this one, and I'm kind of glad that I just kind of spotted it on the shelf as I was passing by, and just thought, you know what, let's just pick up this one among the other 100 books I picked up that day. So I read this one. Fast, easy read. Cute. I definitely think you can read this one without having read the Spanish Love Deception, it being a companion novel and not like a series that you need to follow. However, you will know the best friend from before if you have read the Spanish Love Deception. I can't say that I remember Rosie from the Spanish Love Deception, but something tells me she must have been there because they worked at the same place and they're best friends. So yeah, but yeah, that was this book. I do recommend it. Not so much the Spanish Love Deception, but this one, The American Roommate Experiment by Elena Armas. By Elena Armas. Yes. Cute, easy read. Yes. Ooh, I'm so far away. I kind of like it though, but you can see all my mess. Oh no. Anyway, it's just my life, isn't it? It's just my life. Okay, so Love and Other Words. What's happening to my voice? By Christina Lauren. I want to say Christina and Lauren because they are two people. Hang on. Look. Two people. Eep. Christina Hobbs and Lauren Billings, yeah. Ooh, I'm not sure how to summarize this book, honestly. So we have two timelines and I forget how old they are in the different timelines. So it's like teen years and then adult years, let's say that. But teen years, because then the adult part is basically, I feel like it's like over a year's time or something like that, over a couple of weeks. I don't remember now. Why am I confusing myself? Anyway, so we start this story. We follow Macy mostly. Well, we follow Macy. So Macy, she, as a teen, she loses her mum. Her mum has kind of like made up, I don't know, rules and stuff for her and her dad to like continue living life without the mum. So early on, she and her dad, they buy this, I want to say like it's a weekend cottage house kind of a deal, because they live in the city, but then every now and again they will drive out to this, I don't know, place in the woods. Honestly, I'm not too sure where this other second house is, but I'm gonna call it Place in the Woods, the weekend house. I don't know. It's not too far away because they do easily drive back and forth, but they don't go there that often. But as little bebés, I don't know, they were like 13, 14, 12, 13, 14, that age. So when they first go to this house they've just bought, Macy kind of finds this boy Elliot in her closet, because that happens a lot. Basically Elliot lives like next door and he used to spend a lot of time in this house, and well, apparently he just continued staying there in this house after it's been vacant. They become best friends and they fall for each other. They have this, well, in their teens, they have this relationship where it takes a long time for them to actually like proclaim their boyfriend girlfriend status to each other. Basically their best friend. They talk about everything, everything and more. Basically in that timeline eventually things happen and they don't see each other again until present time. So we go back and forth, but I'm just going to try to summarize one timeline, and that's basically that. So present time, Macy is now, is she engaged? Probably, yeah. So she's with this other man, who I forget the name of, that's super. So this other man, he has a daughter, and they've sort of like become a little family. The daughter, the mum of the child, she just kind of became an addict and left. Yeah. And then Macy kind of just slotted in, and it's just like this perfect little life where she doesn't really have to do much. It's just there. It's just there. But she does start to notice things like like the man and the daughter, they are this like unit together, and she's just like just on the sideline looking in, basically. And it's not until she sees Elliot again in like adult life that she starts noticing these things more and more. And then she kinda, well, Macy and Elliot, they get reacquainted, as it were. Basically, that's the story. So there's a reason why Macy stopped talking to Elliot, and I don't want to say much about that because that's something you need to find out as you read. But basically something happened, and then something else happened, and there was just a lot of things, and then that's that. What to say? Because my summarization of the book is not good. And I feel like, especially when it comes to like dual timelines, I feel like I have such a hard time trying to summarize and explain what the book is because I don't know where to start. I will say this though, with the jumping back and forth in time, I kept track. I wasn't confused like I am with these kinds of books otherwise. So it just flowed very perfectly. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, I really enjoyed this book. It was just an easy little rom-com kind of deal. There were a lot of like sad moments and stuff, but I mean that's kind of life, I guess. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm not sure about the ending of the book though, so if you've read this book, please talk to me about the ending because I'm not sure about it. I'm not sure that's how I would have ended the book if I had written it, if that makes sense. I don't know, I'm not sure about it, but I did highly enjoy the book. Definitely a nice little I want to say like summer read, but also all the little things on the cover gives me winter vibes, and I mean it is kind of winter now, so Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. Wow, glad. So, in this one we follow Rue. Rue works at a company called Klein, and Klein is now being overtaken by some very ferocious people. But so Rue has this thing where she goes on like one date, more like a hookup, every now and again, like I think it was like once a month or whatever, I don't know, and she finds a hookup on a dating app and so on and so forth. One night she meets Eli through this app. Now, Eli also happens to be one of the people who's very aggressively taking over the company that Rue is working for. There's a lot of back and forth between the company and all that, and I don't feel like at any one point in time that Rue was like aggressively angry at Eli for, you know, being the opposition, as it were. They have a very like working, they work towards what they want, basically. They're very like rounded characters in a way. I really enjoyed this. I also really enjoyed that Rue is very unapologetic about what she wants. So like on this dating app, for example, she's like, no repeats, as in I'll see you one time and never again. And I like so and so and so in my like sexual experience, I don't know. And it was just very refreshing in a way. And even though she's like, yeah, it's like, I see you one time and then never again. She kind of, I mean, I don't think she necessarily liked that she was falling for Eli, nor did she really understand it to begin with, but yeah. I really enjoyed this book, despite there being some very, very spicy scenes, but the spiciness of it, even though it was like a lot, it didn't make me cringe. So there's that. So no, I really like this book. I really like the characters of this book. Yeah, excellent. The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. I do believe this is their latest one right now. I don't know. Maybe not. Anyway, so honestly, this was so much fun. I'm not sure where to start. So this is a, well, fake relationship kind of a deal. What's it called again? That's what it's called, isn't it? I'm so confused. Fake dating. That's the one I was looking for. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so a while back when they were, I guess, a uni. I'm not too sure about the whole thingamajig because they mentioned college and uni, and honestly, all those terms confuse me because, well, I didn't go to any of those. No, are you surprised? No, you shouldn't be either. No, anyway. So a while back, they sort of got married on paper, but they got married so they could have this, well, they could have a certain kind of accommodation that wasn't readily available to them unless they were married, apparently. So they got married on paper and lived together for, I don't know, a couple of years, a year, I don't know, I'm not too sure, honestly. Anyway, so they got married. Well, they had to be married, they had to be living together for like 2 years, because then I think 3 years pass. So in the beginning of the book, they sort of like go their separate ways. That's the first chapter, and they're like, nice to meet ya, goodbye. And 3 years later, I believe, they well, Liam has this a problem he needs some help with, and the last resort, the only thing he can think of is to go to Anna and ask her for help. Basically, he needs a date to his sister's wedding that's on this remote private island, and I don't know where. But there are some stipulations behind everything. So basically, they're still married. She thought they were getting a divorce 3 years back, but no. So the thing is about the marriage thing is that, well, Liam's grandfather stated in his will that the grandsons and such would get a, what's it called? They would get this inheritance that would pay out over time, but then, but only if they were married. They had to get married and then stay married for at least 5 years, and then they would get like a bunch of money, because apparently Liam's family is filthy rich, like so rich. So basically, they need to pretend, and they do a very good job of it, because they kind of fall for each other and have some hanky-panky fun. Now, the only thing about this fake dating thing is that one of these days I would like to read a fake dating book which actually ends the way they say they're gonna end it. You know, they go in, fake dates, fool everyone, and then they go their separate ways. I just want to know, you know, they can have some fun in the middle, but then they can go their separate. One time, I'm just saying, one time. Because the thing with fake dating is, you know, you know the arc of it. You know they're gonna go in, fake date, fool everyone, big revelation, everything is like thrown into a mess, and then they sort of like mad at each other, and then they get back to with each other, and all that thingamajig, and that's kind of the whole plot of this. I did really enjoy this. This was a lot of fun. There were a lot of banter and stuff. Yeah, so I did enjoy it, but I'm just saying, someone write a fake dating book which actually does what it says on the can. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, highly recommend, but also, you know,